Hi again, everybody. Greetings from head coach Tommy Tuberville's office, and welcome to the biggest day of the off-season in college football, National Signing Day. You're third as the head coach of the Bearcats, and obviously over the course of 3 years, you've learned about the league, you've learned about the recruiting base for Cincinnati. What stands out here as you go into your third recruiting class?
Well, as head coach, you have to build from what you have, what we inherited, and then we've had to, obviously, with the deck shuffled with our conference, we had to kind of figure out what our plan was to play in the conference league against the different teams, what kind of players you had to have. And then you take your offense and defense and you kind of plug in what you need there. The biggest thing that we've strived for in the last 3 years, and especially this year, is we have to have more athletic ability. Now that sounds broad in general, but it's really not, because in football, you play with big guys, small guys, tall, lean, muscular, and all of them really don't have to be that athletic and fast. Offensive linemen, for instance, they've got big burly guys. Defensive linemen the same way. We've been very short on just true athletes that make plays, that are playmakers, whether it's on special teams. Obviously, last year we had very good receivers, but 6 of those were seniors and are leaving. And then you look at running backs, you look at defensive backs, where we really struggle with depth. And so one of the main things that we've tried to strive for this year, and again, this group that we're signing, we've had some dealings with for 3 years, not just 1 year. So we've had them at camps, we've gone and watched them in practices on their campus. We've done all kind of things to kind of build our base, so to speak, in terms of trying to take the right guys for the right position. So it's a process. It's long. It's at times it gets hard and boring. You watch thousands of tapes, thousands of games, and it kind of comes down to one general day, and that's today, National Signing Day.
The first letter of intent came rolling in around 7:05 this morning. There have been 13 so far. There could be more. We'll have more names as the day progresses here on GoBearcats.com. But in addition to the letters of intent that have come in this morning, you already have 7 players on campus that are early enrollees, and we're going to take an opportunity in this report to talk about the guys that are already here.
Well, it's important because a lot of these kids now are understanding the rules, and they want to get out after 11 and a half years, basically, and they leave their senior class, they go on to college. I encourage it with some kids, some I don't, because I don't think some are ready. But this year we're fortunate we had 7 that enrolled a couple of weeks ago for us. They're going to help us. It gives them an extra spring practice, and as we start next year, it's kind of like they've been here for a year going into camp at higher ground. So it's important that you have some. You never want to get all of them. I don't think that's quite feasible to do, but there are some positions that you need help. And I feel like we got a real good boost from the 7 guys that are here with us, going through workouts, weightlifting, and getting ready for spring practice.
You have the list of the 7 early enrollees in front of you. Let's take a look at some of these kids.
Well, we went all the way to Montreal, Canada. One kid that we've really been excited about, and he came to our camps, and we kind of recognized right off, are we going to be able to be in the fight for this kid, because he is real talented. His name is Bruno LaBelle, and he's a tight end. He's kind of a skinny kid. He's right now, as we speak, probably 215, 220 now. He's gained 10 pounds since he's been here, only in a month's time of being on campus, but he's a guy we're really excited about. He's very athletic, and he's one of those type of kids that I talked about earlier. We have to get more athletes on this team that can do more than one thing. So he'll be a tight end for us. He'll also be on our kickoff return teams. He's very good in space. He's got good hands, and we're just excited to be able to get a kid to come from Canada that we know that can play, because we've had him in camps the last couple of years, and we watched him, and we know what kind of athletic ability he has and the future that he might have here at UC.
You have a couple of Ohio kids that are early enrollees from the Cleveland area, a quarterback and an offensive lineman.
Yeah, Zach Brzezinski, he'll be a center for us. And it's very hard to find centers. And we found Zach last year, and of course, in our camps, and we watched him work out. We've been to his games. We've done all the things you need to do. But, again, going back to specialized players, a center is kind of like a quarterback. Centers can play a few other positions as quarterbacks can, but if you find a good one, you know that's the only thing he's going to do when he steps on your campus. He's going to be a center for us. And Jake Sofko, a quarterback, he's from Cleveland. Both these young guys are from Cleveland, and we're excited about both of them simply for the fact they come from very good football programs. And, again, we've had our eye on them. We've evaluated them from top to bottom. They have the character, the attitude, and the work ethic that's going to make us a better football team here. Jake being a quarterback, he's kind of fourth in line now behind the other quarterbacks, but he's got a tremendous upside. And then coming in early for him, learning this offense, who knows what can happen. You know, he can be on the field very quickly.
Bryce Beard followed his older brother to Cincinnati.
Yeah. Braylon, who got hurt this year in the Miami game, hurt his knee. And his brother's a wide receiver. Now, he will be a defensive back. They're very close with each other. He's from IMG Academy, as his brother was down in Florida. Excited about him coming in to be with his brother again, but knowing the work ethic his brother had. His brother told me, he said, "Coach, you think I'll work hard. You wait till my brother gets here." So we're excited about him.
Kendall Calhoun is a massive junior college offensive lineman.
We had to have a big guy with a wingspan to play either a left tackle or a right tackle because we lost both tackles last year. Not that he will be a starter, but have a chance to be depth and a backup guy for us this year. Maybe a starter next year. Could be a starter as we get into the season, but it's very hard to play offensive line very early in the type of offense we run. But he gives us an older guy that frame is already there. We're going to have to put probably some pounds on in different areas, but he's a JUCO player that really is going to be able to help us in certain situations early and then could be a starter as we get through the season.
You mentioned the 6 senior wide receivers that you lost. You've got a couple that have enrolled early. Devin Gray is one. Tyron Summers is the other.
Yeah, both of these, and I've watched them in workouts. We have been in off-season workouts for the last few weeks, and when I've been off the road not recruiting, I've been able to go down and watch the young guys work out. And both of them are going to be quick, elusive guys. A lot like Shaq Washington. And we had to find somebody like that with Shaq moving on down the road. You've got to find some guys in your receiver core that can catch a 5 and 8 yard pass and then make somebody miss and get that extra 7, 8 yards like Shaq always did. And so both of these guys are going to be possession receivers. They do have speed, but the biggest thing is having quickness at the inside receiver spot.
Again, that's a look at the 7 early enrollees here at the University of Cincinnati. 13 letters of intent are in. There could be more as the day progresses. Additionally, there could be some graduate transfers that eventually wind up on the roster. We won't know about that today, but that is a possibility down the road. We will have more reports with Coach Tuberville and some of the new members of the Cincinnati coaching staff. We'll sign off, though, for now. I'm Dan Hoard with Coach Tuberville on GoBearcats.com.